All right, guys, thank you for joining me today, tonight, this morning, excuse me, or this afternoon, however you look at it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this today because there has been an increase in a certain thing that's going on. Mr. Landfill, thank you for the 5x5. And there is there is a growing situation that people are ignoring, and it's amazing to me. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you for the 5x5. It's amazing to me that people are not putting two and two together. So I know now personally at least five guys that have Mr. C, right? And it's cancer. So I'm going to refer to that. I'm going to refer to cancer as Mr. C for the rest of the live stream. So I don't understand why so many people are fighting against the obvious. We've never seen anything like this. This is actually out of control. Now, on the Angry Truth, I'm going to dive a little more into it, and I'm going to have an uncut version on Rumble because I can get away with it there. But we are watching an astronomical amount of people come down with Mr. C. Um, sorry. Excuse me. And it's amazing to me, too, when you tell people what they can do, what they can take. They just seemingly fight you every step of the way. And I'm like, why? Like, not for nothing, but a lot of the stuff that's being suggested to take, at the very least, it tastes like shit. And you wasted a couple of cups of drinking whatever it is for a week or two or a couple of months. But people will argue with you every step of the way. And I understand that they're brainwashed. I do. I understand. Very good, Hudson Valley. I understand that they're brainwashed, but you can't tell me. Listen, every day, just about every day now, it was like maybe two times a month, you would hear a celebrity being diagnosed with some shit. Now it's almost four or five times a week you're hearing a celebrity of some kind coming down with some shit. And people are just not putting two and two together. They're just like, well, it's the foods. I'm like, wait, what? Foods? We've been eating processed foods and garbage in that processed food for years. Now all of a sudden, in 2024 and 2023, everybody's getting that one diagnosis. I mean, it's multiple diagnoses within that diagnosis, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to elude a couple of words here because YouTube. But so again, I just had a guy I worked with state that he came down with Mr. C. And I'm like, this is almost an impossibility because that's a lot of guys in my unit, if you will. And when you suggest guys to take certain things, they will fight with you and be like, well, the doctor said, fuck your doctor. Your doctor's trying to keep. First of all, when you're diagnosed with this, I started to find out through these guys, when you're diagnosed with this, doctors, first of all, you have to go to different doctors to see how different doctors are going to approach that situation that you're having. So the situation that you're having is, yeah, Sarita, careful with that, especially on here, because they will block your shit. So just be careful what you say. This goes for everybody posting what could help and what. Just be a little vague, because if you're not, they will absolutely block comments, and that's not what we're trying to get here. Anyway, so you're offering these people help. You're giving these people ideas, and they're just fighting you every step of the way. And again, guys coming down with it where I work, like multiple guys, it's a giant red flag. Actually, it's guys throughout the entire department. There are a lot of guys throughout the entire department all of a sudden coming down with this. And nobody, first of all, the job is not doing much to help you. When you, like I said, when you go to doctors, you have to go to like 2, 3, 4 different doctors to see who's going to approach your situation the best. Because some doctors want to go right to radiation. Other doctors want to put you right on the table and try to cut it out. Other doctors will just have a laid back approach. Some will be too aggressive. So you got to go. Thank you. So you're shopping around to go to doctors to see who's going to approach your situation the best. And I'm like, wait, I thought it was like a blanket. All right, you have this. We're going to treat you this way. No, you go to certain doctors and they all have their own protocols. So it's just, yeah, Sarita, I think I'm going to have to do this also, like on Rumble, just a blanket, on the Angry Truth, and talk about what to do and how to do it on Rumble so that I can say what I want to say. But here, there's just more people to watch. So, anyway, sorry because I'm distracted by a million different things flying through my head with everything that's going on. I mean, bad enough we got this drone shit that there are too many ideologies coming out about that. That's a live stream for a different day. You got, Trump going into office and the Democrats crying, and then you got people who are dying left and right or coming down with aggressive Mr. C's. Aggressive. Like out of the, we're talking about 1 minute they're diagnosed, a couple months they're dead. Super aggressive. Some of these are never heard of. People are getting Mr. C's in places you don't ever get them, and now they're seeing more of them. You're just seeing a lot of weird shit. You're just seeing a lot of weird shit. And people are, I don't know. I think people are being misdirected in their approach to handling that diagnosis, that problem. And so we're going to touch on a couple things on what you can do. And the first and foremost thing that you can do once you are diagnosed with Mr. C is you got to alkalize the body. That's first and foremost. It means you got to cut all sugar out. You have to stop eating acidic foods. You got to stop eating inflammatory foods as well, because your body being inflamed, it's harder for your body to fight against. It's harder for your body to fight against any ailment if it's inflamed. So, while you are diagnosed, when you come down with this diagnosis, you got to automatically do all of those things. And it sucks because you're, eating whatever the fuck you were eating, whatever you want to eat. You're carrying on. You're like, you're having a good time. And now all of a sudden you're diagnosed with this thing, and now you got to stop cold turkey on everything. Because you got to bring your body back to its natural state of what it's supposed to be. Your body's supposed to be alkalized. Your body's supposed to not have all this sugar in it. It's not supposed to be inflamed. So you have to get that out of the way, and you have to. Some people would say dwindle off these foods over a course of time, but you don't have time. Well, depends on what you have. It's going to dictate whether or not you have time, right? So if you have enough time, yes, you could dwindle off of certain things. But if you don't, if you have something super aggressive, you got to quit this shit cold turkey. And the first step is, and a lot of people don't like to hear it, is you have to fast. You have to fast for a couple of days to clean your body, to get everything back down to zero, if you will, the inflammation down. You have to get your intestinal tract clean of nothing. So you're just drinking broth or electrolytes. That's all you have to have for the next couple of days. I would say leading up to 3 to 5 days. 3 days minimum, 5 days a stretch, and then maybe longer if you can handle it. So you got to get everything back down to zero. Once you start that and you start eating again, now you have to start looking at Mediterranean diets that are anti-inflammatory foods, right? So cut out all the inflammatory foods, start eating anti-inflammatory foods, and then start building from there. You got to dump all sugar out of your body, like damn near no sugar at all. Obviously, a little bit of carbs, but nothing crazy that's going to put you back where you are. Because cancer, excuse me, Mr. C feeds off of sugar, right? And it feeds off of a shit environment of our bodies. Why a lot of people are having these problems. Now, there are people who are super health conscious. Your body can be, you can be super health conscious, and there are people that have been and still develop this problem, right? So you have that issue to deal with, and that's a little bit different. But watching the people come down with what they come down, that I know exactly what their diets were. So I know that when I told them that you needed to fast, you needed to do this, they're not going to do it. And when people ask me, I'll tell them. But now I don't offer the information anymore because you're talking, you're screaming into the sky, and people just don't want to listen until it's too late. And then a lot of people will not listen until it's too late. But if you got something super aggressive, what would it hurt to take the supplements that I'm going to tell you you should be taking? What does it help? What does it hurt? It doesn't hurt at all. Bad at worst, you tasted some nasty shit, right? At worst, you might puke. You might, There are a lot of other things, but these are the building blocks to getting yourself better. People don't want to listen. People want to just sit there and go, well, my doctor said. Your doctor doesn't have your best health interests. He doesn't. If he did, listen, there are some doctors that will tell you to go this path. They were like, listen, we need you to fast for X amount of days. We need you to now start eating cleaner foods. Stay away from inflammatory foods and have an anti-inflammatory diet. You need to start taking anti-inflammatory supplements before they start you on an aggressive program. Now, some doctors will go down the holistic approach, and then if it doesn't work, then they will entertain chemicals and pharmaceutical route. But a lot of doctors are now starting to switch over to a more holistic approach because it's easier on the system, it's safer on the system, and you don't have to get sick behind getting sick, because radiation gets you sick behind getting sick, right? Oh, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. That's the approach. The approach is to have you puking in the fucking toilet for 12 hours straight a day and then hoping for the best, when there are other approaches. Now, there are certain diagnoses out there where, unfortunately, that's the only approach, is the aggressive approach of radiation and chemicals. But there are other approaches out there that are not so harsh. You're going to feel like shit, especially when you're fasting. But it's better to feel like that kind of shit than the other kind of shit, the radiation kind of shit. But again, people don't want to, they don't want to listen. Right, so a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk, so apricot kernels, I'm talking about that. I'm not going to say for what. Just if you are or know somebody that has that diagnosis, you want to start them on apricot kernels. That's all I can say. On the Rumble live stream, I will tell you why. Black seed oil is another one. Soursop leaves is another one. Vitamin E, vitamin D are two vitamins you should start taking almost immediately. Apricot kernels, by the way, you can take it now. Like if you're not diagnosed with anything, you can actually start taking apricot kernels now. It will help. It helps with a lot of other things. People focus more on helping with the diagnosis I spoke about earlier, but it has a broader health benefits. So those are the three things you should start taking, right? Because that is going to help you. Again, yes, K-Man, with a clean colon, that's why you fast. You fast to get everything back down to zero, to get your colon empty of whatever is lingering. If you have to take anything to clean your colon out, take that as well, to clean everything out of the system, and then start. Then start the Mediterranean diet, the anti-inflammatory diet. Start with that. You are going to start feeling a lot better almost immediately. Your gut is like the epicenter of everything that happens in your body. So if you start there, everything else is going to start feeling better. Then, of course, when you start working out and things like that, that's going to absolutely start releasing certain hormones in the body that also help fight that condition, Mr. C. So and there's a lot of other things to take that, again, I'm going to go down a list. I'm doing a little bit at a time because, again, if this gets kicked, I can do another video and start with more meds. And hopefully people will pay attention to what is being said on here and other places. Listen, guys, they have already said, there's a doctor, McCullough. He had already said that Tommy said, right. Well, yeah, that's why you have to be careful with. You have to be careful with a lot of this shit. Like, any pills you take that's powdery, whatever, you got to be careful of it because it can cause. There's a lot of things that can cause kidney stones, so you got to be careful. You have to drink a lot of water and nothing but water. You hydrate in the morning and at night with the electrolytes, but during the morning you drink regular water, lemon water. That helps out a lot. That also gets rid of a lot of inflammation in the body. What is it? Not paprika, turmeric or turmeric, however you want to say it. That gets rid of a lot of the shit in the body. Berinsky's movie. I don't know what that is, but I'll take a look at it. That's for sure. Yes, and also go to the doctor too, guys. When you start this stuff, go to the doctor and get a baseline of everything. And so you just been diagnosed with Mr. C. Go to another doctor, get a baseline of everything in your body. What you're going to do is you're going to use that as your gauge of how your body's doing. So you get the baseline blood work done first. You get everything checked out before you start doing what I'm suggesting you do. Then in about 3 months to 6 months, you get this diagnosis done again. Or this body work again, this blood work again. You get the whole thing, the whole shebang done again, and you should see a huge difference in the levels of everything going on. Cholesterol, blood pressure, the whole 9 yards. Everything should be dropping all at once. Keeping your body at a high state, guys, of keeping your body overworked, right? Keeping at that high state of overworking itself is why a lot of people are also always sick. They just get sick for every little reason. You sneeze on them, they got the flu. You wink at them, they have AIDS. Like, it's just because their body's run down. So you have to be careful, of keeping your body in that high state. So fasting is the way. And when I first heard about fasting, I thought it was bullshit. I was like, fasting, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Eating once a day or twice, that's stupid. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, shit. There have been days I've eaten once a day, and I was fine with it. So, yeah. And water, guys, that you drink, the water has to be alkaline water. Now, too much alkaline water could throw your body off. You have to balance it out. There are waters that alkaline the water that's good for you, right? There's like a level that you can drink every day. Too high throws your body out of whack. Too low, you might as well be drinking sink water, right? So there is water that can definitely help with ionizing your water, and there's a level of it, right? So again, depends on what level is good for you. This is why I say you take the blood test to see where you're at. Unfortunately, guys, shit like coffee is out. Anything too acidic is gone. At least while you're treating yourself in this moment. And this kind of treatment takes months. It does take months, but the good side is you start seeing it'll stop growing, if you will. Whatever it might be will stop probably growing. Again, if it's something aggressive, you might have to take a super aggressive approach. But if it's not, this is where you take your chances and not take your chance. This is where you follow a natural path. And this natural path, guys, is good for everything. It's not just good for that. It's good for everything, right? Because a lot of people, they notice they start feeling better all the way around when they start a specific regimen. They start feeling good all the way through. Obviously, guys, getting good sleep is going to help you out. Let's see, de-stressing your body, putting the bullshit to the side. Very good. Let me know how the collagen works for your shoulders. But yeah. Yeah, so excuse me, I'm sorry. It's just so distracted today with a lot of bullshit going on. But yeah, you you gotta get your body back down to zero. You gotta get it back to its natural state. Its natural state is not where we are now. We took a blood test right now. Everything that's high, that's not our natural state. Our natural state is everything that needs to be under what it needs to be. Now, high blood pressure, I noticed that the medical community keeps lowering the high blood pressure threshold, right? So it used to be 140 over 90. Actually, it used to be 150 over 90. Then they got it down to 140 over 90. Now they're saying 130 over 90 is high. I'm like, what? Someone also told me it could be 120. Was it 120 over 90 or 95 is going to be considered high? They're trying to get more people on meds. So they're lowering the threshold for a lot of shit. High cholesterol, they're lowering that threshold so that more people can get on cholesterol medications. More people on high blood pressure medications. They want people to be sick to keep feeding their pockets. A lot of people, guys, in the pharmaceutical industries do not follow pharmaceutical protocols. They don't. Cayenne pepper is another good one, too. That helps out a lot with the inflammation, believe it or not. So, these people in this world do not rely solely on pharmaceutical meds. They also have holistic regimens that they follow because they have seen the science. The pharmaceutical company, guys, they stifle the science with a lot of holistic shit. Stifle it. I mean, like, you try to sit there and come out and talk about it, you know, they want to fire you. They want to get rid of your YouTube channel. They want to throw you in jail. Apricot kernels have gotten a lot of people thrown into jail because they mentioned it, right? Or they were selling it as a cure-all, and they got thrown in jail. So, a lot of people talk about these things, and you have to be vague, unfortunately. Again, I will do a Rumble probably this week sometime and talk about it again on there, on the Angry Truth Rumble channel, so that people can have an idea, or maybe the Angry Prepper, just to talk about it, just to get it out there and how these things work, because they do work. NIH is a national health, what you call it. They do a lot of studies. They stated, guys, on their website that apricot kernels do help. So go on their website, NIH's website, and they even have studies that suggest it does. They don't want people on this stuff because the cancer industry is a big industry. Huge. So why would they want any other way, right? I don't know. A lot of bullshit, man. A lot of bullshit. I think probably tomorrow night or Tuesday night, I'm going to do a live stream on these drones. These things are getting a lot worse. There's way more information coming out, but there's also the talk of something else possibly happening. And I'm like, this is very interesting. We're going to talk about that either tomorrow night or Tuesday on the Angry Prepper channel. Outside of that, guys, yeah, this is just this Mr. C nonsense is getting out of hand. Way out of hand. Too many people being diagnosed at once with this. All right, so I think it's up to 4 guys in my firehouse. All right, 4, and back to back, about a year apart from each other. So, and a lot of guys are starting to get a little nervous. There are a lot of guys that are talking about leaving the job because it's just like life's too short. It is, you know. So anyway. I just wanted to get this out there. Hopefully this video stays up. Because it's a smaller channel, it might fly under the radar for a little bit. But we shall see what happens in the next couple of days, whether or not this is going to stay up. If this does, great. I'll do another one. I'll mention certain things, another couple of protocols you can use to help yourself fight certain problems in your body. Or certain diagnoses in your body. Again, there are certain diagnoses, there's nothing you can do about it. You might have to go the chemical route. But the chemical route makes you feel like shit and sicker. And that's unfortunate. But it's a necessity in some cases to feel better. Right? So chemo does have its place, but it's not for everything and every single diagnosis that they throw out there. They are running into a lot of people, guys, that are just... The industry is being flooded with patients and they can't keep track and or up with the patients that are coming out sick. They just can't. There's too many. So they are now. That's why doctors are switching gears and going a more holistic approach. But anyway, with that, I'm going to end this live stream here. I'm not going to drag it out anymore. I will see you guys either tomorrow night or Tuesday night for the double header. If things get way out of control with these drones, I might actually, maybe tomorrow night, I'll see if I can go find a couple. But we shall see. They are in Connecticut right now. My kid's mother sent me a videos of what she thought might have been drones hanging out in the area of Connecticut. They're being seen all over the country. This can't be a military op. And if it is, this is the Chinese. And if it's the Chinese needs multiple ships to do this. Something is up because the government is not addressing it. That's the problem. Now, some people are saying certain things about these. Again, I'll get into that on the Angry Truth and Prepper either tomorrow or Tuesday night, guys. Other than that, thank you for joining me. Thank you for following me on a Sunday. I will give a better heads up on these live streams moving forward. This was just last minute because I didn't think I was going to get back in time. But I did. So moving forward, I'll have better notification. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you, and I'll see you guys next week or next month, rather.